reviewed the latest, what I understand is the latest briefing in Dallas. They haven't adopted
But
something
in a
yet.
lodging deal?
Yes, they've tried to put it into their lodging regulations, but they're creating a new defined term. So, I mean, they're putting it in their zoning ordinance in that way,
Yeah.
and then they have a registration and program essentially,
What we,
in large part, like what we're considering this evening. So,
it's like,
yeah. And I don't know the extent of how it's treated within their zoning ordinance. I can't- not
they made it
those
sound
details.
cut and dried, it's lodging and you can't have that as residential. I think that's what the news said, you can't trust the news.
I think everything's still up in the air.
Well, they haven't officially done anything yet.
Yeah.
But in
But
April,
thank you for hearing me, I'm not here to debate.
The thing is, right now,
I was just trying to educate y'all.
this is something staff has actually been begging us for a lot longer than
I know,
this. Because right now, they'll go out there and tell people you can't do it. They don't have an enforcement tool.
Well, we won't have an enforcement either.
What do you mean? That's what
I
this
mean,
gives us.
we, you know, we'll have to hire another code officer. How is a code officer gonna be available to 9 or 10? But then again, as I say that, I need to shut up, because I was just the messenger. It's all up to y'all.
Bob, what do you have? You had your hand up.
If California
He's
got mentioned, he's gotta come to me and California money.
He's got that California money going on. Are you about to do your Airbnb? Is that what you're gonna do?
Oh, God, tell me. Okay, I don't have a dog in this fight because I don't own an Airbnb. I have no intention of owning one. And if one moved in next door to me, I'd be upset. I come here as a former motel owner,
Oh.
so maybe I can give you a little bit of insight, maybe not, we'll see. My motel was contacted several times by Airbnb. They wanted me to be on their list. Well, we tried it for a month, and we found out very quickly why people are willing to pay so much money to get into an Airbnb. And it's not just because the way they talk about it on TV that, oh, your whole family can come in and you've got the whole place to yourself. Well, if you've got a family, that's great. But if you just have people that come in and want to have a pot party or a drug party or a sex party or whatever kind of party you're into, it's kind of bad. And it gets there very quickly. What was
What's
done?
that website?
What's our options again?
Can't believe you did that.
Oh, you're throwing it out.
Sorry, we don't have no riders in
No.
Hollywood.
Here's what was done in California. They tried special use permits. That one didn't work out all that much. As far as the transient occupancy tax, yeah, that one, it helps a little bit because the city gets a little more revenue because it's based on the sale price. So if you're doing $350 for a weekend and your transient occupancy tax, some places are as high as 10%, then okay, you're getting a little bit of money for that. But it's not enough to compensate.
None of us looks at this as, hey, we can make money off of this. I mean, yes, we've been told for months that this was something we need to get in front of because legally we have no choice.
Some of the differences that we talked about in California between an Airbnb and a motel. Airbnbs seem to be a lot more relaxed as far as restrictions on health codes. I mean, like, especially during the pandemic. Motels, everything had to be gone over. Any surface that a human could touch had to be cleaned with quad disinfectant. Airbnbs don't do that. So you've got some safety concerns.
You got personnel on site all the time, in the hotel where you don't own Airbnb.
That's the other problem. When a lot of Airbnbs are owned like, and no offense to this gentleman, but they're just like this gentleman where you have one owner that owns hundreds of them. If you have a situation that comes up and suddenly you need to get a hold of an owner, it's not gonna happen, is it? So that's another thing to take into consideration. I've heard of different Airbnbs, not some that I've seen personally, but I've heard of some that just have a whole bunch of bedrooms that they rent out. That doesn't sound like a regular motel.
And none of us thinks it is. I mean, that's the thing, none of us, everything you're
I
saying,
mean,
everything you're saying, I agree with. The only reason, I don't want anybody to take from this, again, no offense to you, I don't want anybody to take from this that I'm pro this or anything. We all know these issues, we all agree with you 100%, we agree with James 100%. We've been told you're stuck with them and you need to figure out how to regulate them or else just let them go unfettered.
you know something, just on principle, I have a tendency to just want to plain disagree with, we're stuck with them.
Legally, we're stuck with them. Laws are things. I mean, none of us wants this, but when the courts are saying we have to allow them,
We want to regulate that.
I mean, we're not just saying we're stuck, there's no solution. The legislature could wave a wand within the next month that gives some sort of direction to go one way or the other. I don't know, but stuck with them means legally court cases have happened saying you cannot prohibit these. I mean, that's not some sort of defeatist attitude. That's trying to regulate them according to what the laws of the state of Texas are telling us to do.
Yeah, I know that, I understand that.
Is there anything that we can limit the number of them in our city?
Yeah, so to the point that it's justifiable, what this current regulations as proposed would allow up to 1/8 of the properties on a block within your city to be registered as a short-term rental.
So there would be a number that it would get to, then that we could deny them flat out just because there's already the max on that lot.
Yes, that's the expectation. There is a procedure that they could request, special exception, if they can prove that the circumstances, basically if the conditions aren't inhibited by their operation in addition to that maximum occupancy, they could get authority, come to the city and get a special authority to have the STR operate there even though it's beyond the capacity. But otherwise, it would get to the capacity and that application would not be allowed.
So Bob, I cut you off there. I apologize for that. Did you have anything else to?
Only one other question that I wanted to ask, you sir. If based on the number of citizen complaints about a particular Airbnb in the city, pull or permit?
Well, violations. So it would have some level of code or PD going out there. Code or PD having to actually go out there and verify that the complaint. But yes, it's, I think, 2 in a month, or 2 in 12 months, or 3 in 24 months, I think is what's in there.
2 and 12 is accurate with what it says right now, for sure.
I think the one we had in front of us 2 weeks ago, I think, mentioned 3 and
5, oh yes, 3 more violations of any outside law, federal law, state law, within 24 months. So, that's the way it currently is.
Okay. And that just allows you to pull a permit or stop to that one
Yep.
altogether.
For 12 months. They'd be able to apply again.
I don't like that.
If I decide to turn the house into Airbnb, I'll let you know.
Thank you, Bob.
Let me know, so turn you in.
What time do y'all serve breakfast?
Yeah. Does it come with breakfast?
No breakfast.
Well,
I don't want no Texas call.
That's right.
here's what I want to do. I thought this was a somewhat straightforward thing because it felt like it was something we were compelled to do. The Plano situation's been brought up, and